Hello, hello, and welcome. Are you stuck on somebody? Are you ready to release that person who's been in your thoughts and your dreams and the ether around you and you just don't want it anymore, or you can't stop thinking about that person? Or maybe it's an ex that you're just like, you want to really be over, like real, you really want to be over. If so, this is the right reading for you. Welcome if you're a woman in your 30s or your 40s and you want to have a joyful life, living unfiltered in your power, in love, in life, you're in the right place. My name is Iworiosa. I'm an initiated spiritual guide and oracle. My temple is Moon Garden Temple. I'm also a love attraction coach, and this is one of my favorite subjects is love, dating, relationships. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull. My intention is to do this every month. This is for October. The first card I'm going to pull is for like where it is right now. Like when it comes to releasing this person. And by the way, this could be a person that you were with, that you weren't with, somebody who's a friend. It's just like someone who's taking up space that they shouldn't be taking up, right? So that's the first card, is like what's going on right now. The next card is like where you could be going, like the potential of what could happen for you that could benefit you, especially in the releasing of this person. And then the third card is going to be what's going to help you the most in this journey, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull all 3 right now to save a little time, because I know I only have like 30 seconds to keep your attention on the internet. Okay, so the first card is distraction. Ah, look at that little crow distracting that little cute doggy so the other crow can get some food. All right, so this is really big. What's coming through right now is that you can be so clear that you don't want to have anything to do with a person. Like, you don't always see them. You don't know their name. You don't want their name spoken to you. You can be really clear about that, and still your mind will go back to that person. You might be trying to quit a person for years, and they just keep going back. Just keeps coming back into your consciousness. Like, how, you know, how is this happening? And what this reading is saying is that because you're really like you will willingly distract yourself from what it takes to really release the person. Okay, so you might know what it takes. You might know, for some of us, it's like, going to therapy. For some of us, it's ceremony and ritual. For some of us, it's changing our surroundings. There's so many different ways that we can get into to releasing a person. What this reading is talking about is that when it comes to those places where you really need to commit, you need to dedicate yourself to whatever it is, to, whether it's deleting their number, right? Changing communities, stop hanging out with people who hang out with them, and we'll get to that. It looks like we'll get to that again in this reading. Whatever it is, it's like you are, or something is distracting you from actually following through with it. Like you're afraid to let go. And they always say like that we are willing to stick with certain suffering, certain things that don't work for us because we're used to them. And that is the case of what's going on right now for some of you out there, if you're connecting to this reading for this month of October, is that in releasing this person who is taking up your space, that you're not fully willing to do what it takes because of a distraction you're allowing to happen. So can you fix that, or are you doomed? You're not doomed. You're never doomed. There's always remedy. It's just about getting real about naming that distraction. And look, this is part of healing. Healing is not always pretty. It is just not. Like, as much as I would love for me to say that you can like meditate and like think about rainbows and like it'll just go away and you'll be over it, it's not. Like, I can't sell that to you because it's not real. I want you to have real results. So I just want to say that sometimes, especially if we've had somebody in our craw, somebody that we just can't stop thinking about, or is just in our lives and we don't want them to be in our lives, and we can see how it's damaging for our energy and for our emotions or whatever it is. Sometimes the actual naming the thing that's distracting us from really letting go that person, sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's kind of ugly. Sometimes it's something that you just don't want to look at, and it's embarrassing whatever that is, whatever you find for yourself, whatever it is that you're allowing to distract you, let it be okay. That's the first part. Because you are likely to, if you name it and then you judge yourself about it, you are likely to rebound into doing that thing or allowing that thing to come back. You know what I'm talking about. You know what the thing is. I know a lot of you are sitting out there going like, yeah, I'm aware. Highly aware. So let's talk about the next card. The next card is waterproof, and you can see this bird, like many birds, are waterproof because of those beautiful oils that they have on their feathers. And this is the card that talks about like what the potential is for you. And this is suggesting that, and I actually kind of want to read this from the book too, read something from the book on this too, because this is one of my favorite decks, by the way. It's the Urban Crow Oracle. And they say something really beautiful. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. They say something really beautiful in this deck about this particular card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. If I could find the right page. One of the things they say, casual insults, snarky comments, and emotional vampires don't bother someone who is waterproof. When you are in vulnerable situations, for example, situations where you may have just broken up with somebody, right? Or maybe that person, when you let go of anything, any habit, any person, a community, whatever it is, when you let go of something that's normal in your life, okay, that you're not going to do this anymore. You're releasing the person. You're clearing it all away. When that happens, there's this void that makes you vulnerable because you're letting go of something that has been part of your makeup, of what's normal for you. Even if this person that you're releasing was not good for you, it's maybe normal for you to obsess about it, or maybe it's like your brain is just like, yeah, this is good. Your body is used to feeling it. The emotions are used to activating, right? And so if we're saying we're not doing that anymore, you become very vulnerable. And sometimes it's in ways that are obvious, right? And then other times it's in ways that are like somebody says something to you and it triggers something that you were not expecting, that you never could really anticipate that it would happen that way, or that you would react in that way. So for some of you out there, releasing this person doesn't feel like, just jumping over a creek. It's like climbing up a mountain, and again, sometimes that can be embarrassing, but let it be okay, because, we're wired a certain way, and this is what it is, and this is where our life is. And this is part of your healing process. It probably has to do so much more with something else than it actually has to do with that person anyway. It might be a cover for something else that will come up. So in these vulnerable moments, when you are discovering what it is that you need to release this person, when you are in these places of feeling like you're dealing with new emotions or ways of being that you did not know were present for you, and it's all new, you're vulnerable. But the cool thing is, there's a power when you make a choice for yourself to choose something better, to release this person, to stop engaging in emotional patterns that don't work for you, whatever whatever healing journey that takes you on, that there's a potential here for you to have sort of like that thick skin. As they say, soft fronts, thick skin. There's two sides to this. There's the develop the thick skin, the oil on your feathers, to be protected from whatever is going on out there, or to not let everything that's going on out there affect you so deeply. And the other side is that this could be a way of being for you, is that when you make this powerful decision, some of that outside stuff that's been getting to you won't matter so much anymore. It's just not as big of a deal, right? You could become stronger. So there's the practice in it, and there's this like becoming, a little more thick skin. I think this there's a lot of talk about like the divine feminine right now in our world, and different ways of being demure and all of that stuff. But having that protection around you, that thick skin, is an important tool to have. I'm saying prayers up that whatever relationship that you do end up in, if that's what you were looking for, that you won't always need to have that thick skin. You know, that it's just a tool for us to have and to know that we have that protection. It doesn't mean you have to live there. I hope that I'm saying prayers up that you'll be in a relationship at some point where you can be open and free, and that thick skin is just not necessary in your emotional engagements with your partner. Okay, moving on. This last card is isolation, and we're talking about the gift, something that can help you along the way to get to where you want to be. I always think of it as a gift because it's like you learn a new thing about yourself, or you learn, you know, in this card position, it's about magic, because it's the thing that if you engage with it or you develop it for yourself, then it kind of opens up a whole, you know, growing isn't linear. So it kind of opens up this whole, you know, branches and branches of like new aspects to your personality or potentials, and of what your life could be and what could come into your life. Excuse me while I navigate a cat and my, hold on. A cat and my microphone cord. That was Cyrus, for those of you who don't know. Okay, so the isolation, I know that for some of us, I know there's some extroverted people out there that are like, isolation, no, right? And there's some people who are naturally more introverted who are like, yes, more isolation, right? So I'm in between, you know, mostly I'm like the isolation, but I'm kind of in between. The isolation, and what's coming through right here is that you have people around you who are not supportive of you in the way that you need to be supported right now. I can't tell you that they're enemies or not. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just letting you know that there are people around you, or community, or some kind of environment around you that is not conducive to you actually releasing this person that you want to release, or releasing this relationship that you want to release. So the beautiful thing about isolation is that you can kind of take yourself out of what the norm is out there and have this bird's eye view. If you look at this bird, this is such one of my favorite illustrations. If you look at this bird's eye view, you know, this bird is over the city, like over the mist, and can see everything below it, around it, in the city. It can see over almost all the treetops there. That's the beautiful thing about any part of your life where you're healing, or you're transitioning, evolving, making a change, is that when you isolate yourself, you're sort of like not the player in the game as much as you were before. And so you see how people around you move differently. You start to understand how like certain environments were affecting you that you didn't even know because you were in them so much, right? So the isolation is going to help you so much really, really figure out what the distraction is for you, so that you can release the person. And also it is going to help you develop that beautiful oil over your feathers, or that thick skin. I know that isolation sometimes feels a little scary to us. It doesn't mean that you disappear into a hovel and never to be seen again. It just means take yourself out of your regular environments for a little while. Start to observe your friendships around you. Look, this is the beginning of the fall. We just got to the end of summer when I'm doing this reading, which means we got to the end of pruning season. There were so many people around me, friends, clients, so many people around me who were kind of breaking up, releasing relationships that didn't work for themselves anymore, spending a little less time in certain communities. Now is still that time, even though we're a little deeper into the fall, now is still that time where you can go, that doesn't work for me. And that feeds this thing where I want to still be obsessed with this thing over here. You'll see those connections. Okay, that's it. That's the reading. And I want to encourage you, if you like this reading, if you want a bigger, a bigger understanding of sort of the energies that are available to help us right now and whatever it is we're trying to create, more free life, manifest something that we're dreaming about, more healing and remedy for the things in our life, please go check out the new moon divination or the new moon reading. You can find it linked around this video somewhere or anywhere on my website, moongardentemple.com. I do them once every new moon, and it's pay what you can, so you have nothing to lose. Come join it and you'll learn more about moon magic as well as some suggested ritual for you to move forward and create the life that you want to create. Thank you for watching this reading. I intend to post another one next month in November. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Let me know if anything landed for you or anything like that. So blessings, big love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, see ya.